Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hazima Mozam and I welcome you all to another exciting webinar organized by Comstech. We are very delighted and honored to have Professor Dr. Xiao-Ping Wang with us. Dr. Wang is a director and a professor at Department of Neurology, Shanghai Tongren Hospital, which is associated with Shanghai Jiaotong University Medical School, Shanghai, China. With this, I would request His Excellency, Honorable Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman, who is Patron-in-Chief of International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences and a former Federal Minister of Science and Technology, Pakistan, to introduce and welcome our guest speaker for today. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to introduce Professor Xiao-Ping Wang. We are very fortunate to have him in Karachi right now at the International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences. As you have just heard, he's the director and professor at the Department of Neurology at the Shanghai Tongren Hospital, which is in Shanghai Jiaotong University Medical School in Shanghai. He has been the chair of the first 6th International Conference of Movement Disorders in Shanghai and an executive member of the Movement Disorder Society. He's also been the chair of the CONI World Congress of Neurology Controversies and also the chair of the International Drug Discovery and Treatment in September in Boston. He has been the lead guest editor of the Bentham Science Journal, Current Neuropharmacology. He has over 106 research publications in top-tier journals and 9 books and almost 10,000 citations to his credit. So he's a very distinguished scientist who's visiting Pakistan these days. And he'll be talking to us about Neurocase Wilson disease trials, the chemical, gene, and organ cell treatments. Over to Professor Wang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Atta and Professor Chidley. Yeah, it's my honor to come here to have the picture of the speech about the idea of the neurologist. Yeah, my topic is about Neurocase Wilson disease trial from chemical may be the first, chemicals, gene, and organ cell treatment. I'm from Shanghai Jiaotong University Medical School. Now maybe number 1 in China, maybe 5 years now. Yeah, Wilson disease may be a rare disease. So for my idea, a drop of the winter also can reflect of the sunshine. Sunshine in the Karachi is very, very beautiful now. Yeah, Wilson disease. Wilson is originated from the Dr. Wilson's research. Maybe it's 120 years ago. Wilson's family, Wilson's father, and where the family came from to UK and to the USA and then to come to my country, China. Dr. Wilson's father has acted as a priest in China. I'm not sure which city, maybe Beijing, Peking, maybe Shanghai. I asked some details for the UK, especially on the Critical Institute of Neurology, but not yet. If some other experts know some details, could you tell me by email? So good. Professor Wilson, Dr. Wilson, the MD dissertation about the progressive degeneration of the medical degeneration together with some nerve hardness. So after that, the new term named as the Wilson disease. And others also is the UK expert doctors. Jim now also is very healthy, maybe 1905, living in the London or someday in the coverage. He discovered the new drugs for the penicillin. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. 3 years ago, I visited critical care to hope to find some Wilson disease story and history, but not easy. Now maybe Parkinson's disease is the first. Parkinson's disease can be dancing here. You can find also in the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery. Also the best in the world. You see maybe some now best neurologists in USA maybe had been trained in this hospital, this institute. It's good. You can find it 2 Wilson disease drugs found. GPA just said to by Wish. China 16 years ago, Professor Ding developed DMSA. DMSA is found by the Chinese. Also maybe 17 years ago, maybe is 70 years ago. Now the Professor Ding also is very healthy. Maybe the Wilson make the Wilson disease research very long time. Maybe 2 years ago, I visited the Professor Ding. Professor Ding now is very healthy, and taught me the history of the DMSA, how to discover it. Professor Ding also had the 2 diplomas, maybe chemistry, maybe pharmacology, one maybe from USA, one from UK. Also, we have found the modern neurology originated from the French. But also, we have found some traces of the Eastern character. I found published the first papers about the Wilson disease is the little paper published in the Neurology Scandinavia, Denmark's the journal. Yeah, so I say maybe Denmark is my lucky place. Just now I visit for Denmark. It's also the beautiful now there. My first papers, Wilson disease as symptomatic to the nail onset type, was cited by the Journal of Hepatology. So it's maybe the top journal in this world. But my paper is a little, so we will be saying maybe it's origin from the Europe classic globe, international ideas. Here you'll find my little paper. Yeah, maybe the here. Other maybe the new journal and then new boss, new greatest export in the world. Also in China, Shanghai Xijiao National Guest Hotel, maybe for example, Anta maybe have some experience here. Is a national guest hotel. And also traditional and the fashionable. Professor Sidney Mike from the Yale USA, Yale University, now also the Wilson Disease Association chairman. Chairman needs the research, public papers and nothing, maybe also the natural, the journal is very good, or very kind to the Chinese export for Wilson disease. The central is my mentor, Professor Yang. I also say Professor Yang is the god of the Chinese Wilson disease, also the father of the World Chinese Society in the Wilson disease. It's me. I'm maybe 5 years old, looks younger. This is a Wilson disease patient. Maybe I will visit him. Maybe he was maybe 10 years or almost died. Now he's very healthful and work at the office in the Chinese some taxi government. Very good. Now we have 2 kids. All the healthy. Dr. Wilson decided for Wilson disease also coined a new term, moment disorder. Moment disorder is new concept, new terms in 1912. Now maybe in USA, Moment Disorder Society is founded 1988. So Wilson disease for MDS, Moment Disorder Society or International Parkinson Disease and the Moment Disorder Society is an international organization. So if you are applying for join, it's welcome to every person or every neurologist, every researcher to join with us. If you are very young, maybe below the 14 years ago, you are resident, you are fellow, you are not the professor. You could be free to join with us. If you are very senior, you are professor, maybe not. So now many India neurologists, many tenant neurologists, many Australia neurologists join with us. So it's good. Also, we have some experience with Professor Deutsch. Deutsch is the former MDS president. Chair for me maybe almost 40 years ago. Professor Deutsch is very kind to the Asia, to every country, to help every person. Here maybe we also observe the Angela Lee, also the huge boss, the MDS former president, also the Moment Disorders general editor, very kind. Now the new president of MDS from the South America, Brazil, Cardoso also is very good, very kind to the Asia. Hope to many Asian countries to join with us to have the MDS section. For example, Pakistan MDS is also good. Now just for visitors another country for Pakistan MDS organization is good. It's me. Oh, sorry, at Sydney for international conference. Here we'll see the Xiao National Guest Hotel for my international conference of the Parkinson disease and Wilson disease and the Moment Disorder together. My mentor in the Montreal. My partner is from the New York Columbia University. My partner from Victor Fong from Sydney University. Also Montreal McGill University. For my postdoc now working at the Toronto University. Also my partner working at the Xinjiang Medical University near your Pakistan. Good enough. Also now we are the MDS-AOS. AOS means Asia section. maybe the 1/4 of in the world. So AOS is the sub-organization of the MDS. So many from the Asia, also from Australia, New Zealand, Singapore also working together. Here, where some people will say, no, not yet, because the leadership not yet. Pakistan now two India experts join with us. You see, India has many MDS members to join with us. So has two leaderships. Also, some people tell me, we are from the Taiwan. I'm from Shanghai. Yeah, it's good. For my idea, Taiwan also is the state of the Shanghai is almost the same. It's good. In China, I also watch some television from the Pakistan. Pakistan is very good for the many things, especially maybe for the economy, also for the sports, especially for some new model of the youngest. She is very good. So I also in China, maybe for me, maybe 13 years ago, I can saw some traditional Pakistan song. Miki, Pakistan, Miki, Pakistan. Maybe 13 years ago, 30 years ago, I can saw this song. Very popular in the China. Also for neurologists, for the medicine, we will find the overlaps of the classic and the modern advice. Classic maybe tradition. Together with, we keep the tradition, keep the classic, together with the modern, together with the fashionable, together with the pioneer science. We hope to together for the neurologists. But here we are for Wilson disease research. For the maybe 1 week, I have the good experience for exchange with the Pakistan and China. With your now the two huge bus, and here we with Professor Javid in the another country, maybe the hospitals the president maybe also give some welcome. In China, for me, I also like to hope to have some PhD student from your Pakistan almost. Now my another PhD student just graduated. The name is Raisa. Raisa is also from Xinjiang Medical University. Also very clear to hear. So maybe I find the fault of the Pakistan and Xinjiang border, I come cross to it, and I also come back to China. For Wilson disease, the gold guideline from the European Association for the Study of the Liver. For Parkinson's disease is already should be from the MDS, Movement Disorder Society. So Wilson disease now from the home neurologist to the hepatologist. Maybe neurologist and the hepatologist can together to research, to treat these disorders. So now this Europe conference also I was invited by this study of the association to maybe to prepare the new guideline to treat the Wilson disease. Also for me, I have many Wilson disease, not only from China. In China, maybe 10,000 Wilson disease. I also have some residents from New York City, maybe from the Europe, maybe some patients from the Philippines. Also, I should have some recent disease from the Hong Kong, from Taiwan, from all the area of China. So how many recent disease now for the document? The document say China should have the 20,000 recent disease. USA should have the 3,000 recent disease. So maybe from China, maybe the recent disease is not rare. From USA document, maybe recent disease is rare. Is it true or not true? Maybe from Shakespeare's story, is it true or not true? It should be the question. I maybe give you the answers next. Okay, maybe one recent disease is a genetic disease. Maybe now over 20 extra, and over them 1,000 gene mutations for the recent disease. Some experts say maybe recent disease family has the private recent disease. Yeah, maybe 15 to 17 recent disease family have the general gene mutation, but maybe from 13 to 15 recent disease have the different or new recent disease gene. So it's very difficult. If you find that gene treatment is not easy, you will find many gene treatment strategy. So recent disease should be have the two types, at least two types. One from neurology from belong to the neurology, brain, cerebral here. Other type is hepatic or liver or internal organs type. Recent disease mostly can be medicable, almost curable. So early diagnosis and early treatment is essential. Recent disease in Chinese experience treated by the Western drugs together with traditional Chinese medicine, or maybe medicinal herbs. Here, Pakistan for the medicinal herbs maybe the best in the world. Also, we Chinese experts should know from some plant medicinal herbs from Pakistan, especially from Karachi Center of the Chemical and Biological Research Center here. Also, maybe for 1 or 5% recent diseases should be have the liver transplantation. So recent disease is should be for early diagnosis, and there should for treatment is okay. Here I show pictures of the Chinese sculpture, Chinese heart. The snake has two heads. Is true or false? Only for the imaging. No, maybe now is true. Yeah, recent disease also has 3 heads. One from symptom is the fellowship. symptom. Maybe together with some lab examination. The second head pathology, general pathology, maybe together with the molecular pathology. The third head, genes. Yeah, not just talk the genes, various, maybe over 1,000 gene mutation. So it's if the head 1, 2, 3 head is the same one, is all the support the one point, is okay, is easy. If you find the 3 head are different, it's not easy. Maybe depend on the guideline, maybe depend on the lab, maybe the life decision, maybe depend your mind, depend on your heart. Not easy. So maybe for 95% Western disease diagnosis is easy, but for maybe 5% Western disease diagnosis is very difficult. Western disease, how about Western disease copper? Copper maybe deposition, the reticular degeneration, reticular coccus. Another thing is the vascular gangrene. Very careful ring is copper deposition here, is also the liver hardness. Copper is here, everywhere to make the liver disease. Also, we have do some Western disease imaging research from maybe T2 flare, SW sensitive went imaging, especially from the new pioneer techniques QSM. Yeah, I together with some American neuroscientists, neuroimaging experts, to together with it, we have published papers on movement disorders journal. Is the top one in the movement disorder society fields. Is lucky. We hope to publish another papers on this journal. We are prepared for some neuroimaging manuscripts. Also, we are show, especially here, we are show the medicinal herbs much successful for Western disease treatment. We published the papers in the Europe Neurologists. We are show here to say habitat reticular degeneration, Wilson is the HLD also named with Wilson. As the successful example of the integration of the traditional Chinese medicine, traditional medicinal herbs, and the Western medicine. So our idea now maybe is much popular. Not only is Asia, maybe is some American, some Europe, Germany, maybe France, maybe Denmark, maybe UK, maybe Spanish, Spain also like this idea. I also give some traditional Chinese medicine herbs propaganda to these countries to say, yeah, traditional medicinal herbs is the Pakistan's medicinal herbs also they're good, maybe the best, you know what? Also for that we shot some drugs, never maybe about DPA is invented by UK, DMSA invented by Chinese, gene training maybe by 2 American experts. Where we are the Suzuki Michael, 5 years with my institution. Another should be say, DMPS is invented by the Russian. Russian also has the many contribution to Western disease clinic, also for the treatment. It's good. Also, maybe I show some traditional Chinese medicine developed by the Professor Yang Renmin and my mentor. Zinc salt invented maybe by Poland expert, maybe. Also now maybe the update to the data, China has the at least moderate 13,000 Western disease. My professor, my mentor, Professor Yang said maybe 18,000 Western disease in China. Here I will show about the America. America's 3,000 Western disease case to the update, maybe 2 years update now. 8,000 cases in USA. We should, if Chinese 13 Western 8 in USA, almost the same for the prevalence. You be basis of the population. Australia maybe 20th. I suggest maybe 2,000 cases in Pakistan. Pakistan is a huge country, not small. UK maybe update, maybe last year, almost Hong Kong area now maybe 163 Western disease in Hong Kong area of China. But very interesting, Italy has many Western disease. I don't know why. Maybe for the gene mutation, maybe for the NAD. NAD has many copper. I don't know. So in China, we have the many traditional, many methods to do it, maybe all together with traditional Chinese medicine. Show the drugs by the traditional Chinese. In Chinese, say Da Huang is the first king drugs, medicinal herbs. Here with Kung Fu Zi is almost the 2,000 years ago philosophy. Also, we show other 4 kinds of traditional herbs working together to treat Western disease better. Besides the anti-compound, together with some hepatoprotective, maybe some brain protective is good. My medical diploma, medical degree had been trained for Western disease to treat the Chinese Western disease. Show the Western DMSA is good, maybe better, even the best now in the Western disease treatment. You see now maybe some USA OTC drugs has a little dosage of DMSA, especially for the minor, for the working on the mind. You see the brain some copper, brain some of the manga. So should have the DMSA with the chocolate, so that prevent the healthy of the minor's body. Also, Chinese experts also found some other treatment for the organ treatment, especially for splenectomy, is good. Also, the new organ transplantation maybe now maybe best in the USA is the best. Or maybe also Chinese maybe have some training in USA, and now come back also is good, very good enough. Yeah, I just review one papers about the Western disease operations. Some specialists maybe reject it, but only me said no. It's a good paper. It's wonderful Chinese research experience is good, so should be accepted. And last two person reject, only me accepted. Other than the last result is accepted for publication. So Chinese experience for Western is sometimes maybe the first in the world. Also, we have found some neuroprotective agents, maybe GM1, maybe interferon, maybe with NB for some with vitamin E. Also, maybe I just see maybe hepatoprotective plants here, maybe Pakistan for some plants treatment, or maybe the next candidate to treat Western disease. Or what gene cell treatment also do it. Chinese also tried for some gene treatment. Now maybe transfer to the stem cell treatment, especially for induced pluripotent stem cell treatment. Now is much popular in the world. Maybe origin from the USA and Japan. Now maybe together with the international techniques. We just will show the Italian for the skin origin iPSC is good for the extron, especially for the Eastern, for Western people is good from maybe from skin here to do it. But we in China we should be do for the Asia we actually another gene to for Asia Western disease. We do some researches. Is Western money is very expensive for this experiment. Also, just now we publish papers by the Journal of Hepatology. Maybe the top one is what for Western disease is my lucky. I wish will show my many thanks to the reviewers to give me the help. Even I don't know the name. There's a cup page. My paper is a cup page of the hepatology. Also, we do some Western disease human iPS cells to treat rat from human to treat the rat model, Western disease model is also okay. Maybe we'll give them much more try to do it. Now maybe for cells is enough, not enough. Maybe for organoid, maybe for some eel or rat is maybe produced by Chinese surgery, maybe from Shanghai University. My colleagues do it. Also, maybe we do buy some cells from your blood and to do iPSC cells, and we can produce everyone's organ and use this organ to treat, to express to some not working organ. Is maybe the next feature research, maybe next the clinical trial. I think so. For me, Western disease, my mentor professor Yang is me will try. It's the express thanks to Professor Atu give me much help for the current neuropharmacology. So Western disease overcome now is very good. Professor Anna from the Poland published a case Western disease aged over 80s is very long. So well for the Europe's Western disease, especially for the hepatology, much activity. That is very good. For me, for our team, we published some papers in the Western disease for the movement disorder as hepatology. I also as the current neuropharmacology, the guest statute, especially for Western disease. We have published other papers. There's some is no Western disease, maybe stroke, maybe for Parkinson's disease, maybe for the cognitive neuropsychologists. Also, yeah, is maybe many years upon short papers on the national neurology. just from the 10 years ago, we organized the first Western international conference of Parkinson's disease and Western disease movement disorder in Shanghai, supported by the AOS. So it may be next year AOS conference should be held in the India. I hope maybe after 5 years ago, maybe AOS conference should be held in the Pakistan. I hope so. Here we show that we have the Chinese national top television, CCTV international channel give me the news. The Professor Margaret Hannett from the USA National NIH is the clinical director. The professor from the New York City University, Orange from Jack. Professor Louis Tan from Singapore National University. Professor Chen Rouxian from the Taiwan Taipei Chinese Taipei University. Very good. Best the hospital in the Taipei city. Very good. We are together. Here you will show my PhD student classmate. Professor Wu now work as the full professor at the Mayo, the top one in American, Mayo Medical School, graduate school. Professor, very good. Maybe the top of the professor for neuropsychologists in China. Also, I want to introduce some of my universities. My university, Shanghai Xiao-Ping University, together maybe with the Tsinghua University, maybe Tsinghua University together 10 in the world, and so maybe Yellow Tsinghua almost the same the position. Also, my Xiao-Ping University almost the same. Also, the top in the world, not only in the China. My Xiao-Ping University Medical School is #1 in the China. But the Xiao-Ping University maybe also the better and better. I origin the university from University of the Science of Technology of the China. It's also the top university in the world. So for research is also good. I work by this route 3 years, not easy. Also, I have 2 medical degrees from the Anhui University, another from the Anhui University of the traditional Chinese medicine. So I have some experience of the traditional medicinal herbs. I hope to together to work with the Karachi University. Postdoctors in Montreal. I also have the Montreal dream. Montreal is very, very dreamful. And little something in the UK, Queensland, also some of the Germany, Deutschland, also the good Canada, England, and Deutschland, also the very good to me. For me, I will say maybe to the Western to Eastern. Here is the neurologist founder from the Bahrain, from Paris, the Professor Xiao, yeah, the neurologist, especially for the history. Is my mentor, Professor Yang, also together with my partner, yeah, maybe Professor Sam Lois from Sydney, my best friend. Dr. Sanina from Toronto University. My postdoc in Shanghai is good. So for me, I will be together, Western and East. We should be sit down together. We hope to work together. And I not hope to make a huge progress together. We should have the happy life together. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. And I must say it was a very candid talk. And before we take some questions, which are posted in the chat box, I would request our special guest, Professor Dr. Atab Rahman, as well as Professor Dr. Iqbal, for their comments on your talk.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Wang, Professor Xiao-Ping, for a very nice overview of the work that is being done. What is very impressive is the wide range of international contacts that you have developed, whether it's in Europe or Australia or Sydney or in Asia. And so this is a very important facet of research today, the international linkages and the ability to contribute and learn from various parts of the world, the best scientists from various parts of the world. So science brings the best talent together. And so science diplomacy is extremely important for nurturing peace and harmony and goodwill amongst nations. And your lecture reflects the pivotal role that you have played in this area. So thank you very much for an excellent overview. Iqbal.
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. You're a very high quality researcher and clinician, and you have given equally high quality presentation, as Professor Atta mentioned, that you have not only discussed a very high quality science, but also the linkages which you have developed throughout the world. I was equally impressed from your openness and your background in traditional medicine. As you said, that traditional medicines can play an extremely important role. And that is, collective human experiences, which should be used for the benefit of humanity. And at the ICCBS in University of Karachi, we are very, very happy that we are able to develop contact with you, and we are looking forward to work with you in future, both in terms of clinical research as well as clinical trial, and looking for high quality traditional medicine which can help people in different neurological diseases, including Wilson disease. So thank you very much for enriching us, and thank you very much for giving an excellent presentation also about the quality of high quality research as well as academic research, academic institution in China. There are about 105 people online. So your lecture is already very, very popular, and we are grateful to you on behalf of Comstech and ICCBS. Thank you very much. Xie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And with this, Professor Wang, you can see there are so many thank yous and wonderful comments regarding your talk in the chat box as well. So there is only, due to time constraint, I would just request one question from you, which has been posted by our, our audience. So there's Dr. Samya, she's asking that, can you tell us more about the medicine that is coming out of as a result of your research work?
You say the next research for Wilson disease treatment?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now we just now we see for now maybe for international cooperation for clinical trials training. Now just maybe begin trained by the Michael, maybe from Europe and to the American, maybe together with China. We are working to it. I say not only is for Wilson disease research, not only within the Europe, not within the USA, maybe international. Just not easy for me. I join with to this conference. Maybe for Asia, maybe for me, maybe the first to join this conference. Not easy, but I'm also welcome to visit there, to have joined with it. So it's the good, nice issue is organization. So it's for the clinical chemical drugs now maybe the first. So new drugs Also, maybe we also try for the cell drugs. Cell drugs also maybe do. Maybe you see now not only for the research, but also maybe possible from the pharmaceutical, from the company. Company maybe give the push to maybe give the some allergy. So now for the research and the company and maybe we are also working together. So chemicals first and second maybe for the cell, maybe organoid treatment, maybe next. Okay, maybe also maybe for traditional Chinese medicine also for here maybe Pakistan medicinal herbs maybe the third way. So I speak in the Germany Deutsch, German Pro MDS Chem President key of Deutsch say you should give me the more details of traditional Chinese medicine. Also, we will give many comments and many questions to you, especially for Chinese medicine herbs. So maybe some European experts also are interested to in the traditional medicinal herbs, how to find two compounds. Compounds also together is a cocktail treatment for AIDS. So also can compounds to do Wilson disease, Parkinson disease, Alzheimer's disease. Surely can be compounds. Not single. Single maybe the for my idea maybe the lower level. If the middle and the high level maybe the compounds. It's only my idea. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. With this, we come to end of our session today. I would, on behalf of Comstech, I would like to thank you for your valuable time, as well as our guest, Professor Dr. Atal Rahman, and our participants who joined us from around the world for their time and for being with us. With this, bye-bye, and hope to see you all in some other lecture of Comstech. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.